Hi, I'm Joe Navarro, and welcome back to People Watching. Well, it's that time of year again. It's the holidays. I get so many questions about how do I deal with unruly people coming to my party, and who do I invite or don't invite, or what happens if around the Thanksgiving table people start talking politics or things get out of control. We have all experienced events like that. I think as you prepare for the holidays and you think about who's coming over, who's putting on the party, who's going to be there, it's always good to look back on behaviors and point out, okay, this is a behavior that I didn't like on the part of this individual or that individual, and this is what hopefully we can anticipate. And I wish it were not so. And of course, for guests, it's different than for hosts. So the host may be thinking, okay, who are we going to invite to this party? Who's going to be there? You know, do we invite the whole family, or do we have a member of the family that always causes some issues? And believe me, I have had many a query from professional individuals who tell me stories about things that really went so bad that they had to get up and leave a family reunion because it was intolerable. So hopefully you don't experience that. But there are some things that you can do. And one of them is setting the boundaries that you're not going to tolerate offensive words or offensive deeds. You know, people say, well, everyone's different. Yeah, but there's a commonality into what is acceptable, what is proper, what is ethical. And obviously, not offending others is on top of the list. The people that may be the most problematic may be that child or that sister or that cousin or that uncle who likes to antagonize others by bringing up prickly subjects, things that may have to do with identity, with politics, or other things. And there are people that thrive in that environment, and you may want to have a conversation with that individual and say, look, we're just not going to tolerate it. These are the boundaries. This topic is not permitted. Then you have others that I've referred to as wound collectors, and these are the ones that they'll bring up things up from 6 years ago, and there is no closure for them. There is no time limit. They need to insert these things into the conversation, and it just brings everybody down. They're always portraying themselves as the victim. Or you may have someone who you know is going to be the center of attention. They will dominate the conversation, and they just don't believe in turn yielding. You know, you got 12 people in the room, 12 of them should most likely get equal amount of time. These individuals get so much more. They don't seem to respond to you know, sharing that time. Or you have individuals that just like to tell dirty jokes and are gross and so forth. If these things offend, if these things bother you, as I say in my book, Dangerous Personalities, you have no social obligation to be victimized. If they're going to spoil your evening, spoil it for the majority. Sit them down and talk to them. And if they're not going to abide, I wouldn't invite them. If you are permissive, then don't be surprised when they spoil your evening. You have to be willing to stick to the boundaries, not just set the boundaries, and move people away from topics and things that are uncomfortable. And I have to tell you, no amount of drugs, no amount of alcohol ever makes things better. These things seemingly always make things worse. So pouring them another drink may not work in your favor. talk to other members of the family and see if they agree that these boundaries need to be set, or that inviting this individual is not a good thing to do because it spoils the very essence of having a Thanksgiving dinner or a Christmas dinner or a holiday dinner. Things such as time limits. How many times and families, my own family, where someone is habitually late? And you have to ask yourself, what are we going to tolerate? Are we going to tolerate 15 minutes that they're late? They know they have to be here in advance, but they habitually come in late. My best advice, you give them 15 minutes and then you start. Or you start right on time and you cut no slack. Eventually they'll get the message. Get their act together, get there early. But to make 12, 15, 20 people wait because someone can't get their act together, that just begins to spoil the evening, and it can affect the event itself. Your house, your rules. And that's it. It's the best argument I ever heard. My house, my rules. And you either abide or not. Some people say that's tough love. That's only tough for the people that violate rules. For everybody else, it's easy love, easy rules. Expect to have a good time. Expect to enjoy each other's company. Expect to really enjoy the holidays. And that's why it's so important to ask yourself, is there someone there that can really spoil it for us? Because we so infrequently now get together. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 years before we get together. If you're lucky, you get together every year. But many families, it's 3 or 4 years. Make those times special. Think about how you're going to make it a special time, but only in circumstances based on behavior that we say, this is not tolerable. You may have to leave, or you have to leave, or you don't get invited. Obviously, anything that is out of control, anything that becomes physical, if anyone is attacked, and this happens. We read it in the newspapers every day where a family get-together becomes a crime scene. So we don't allow that. And remember, being family excuses a lot, but it doesn't excuse everything. So keep that in mind. And once again, enjoy the holidays, enjoy the camaraderie, enjoy family. That's so important. I wish you all well. Thank you for joining me. Please sign up and ring the bell, and I look forward to seeing you here again.